Here's what we're looking at for Penn State, and they are certainly challenging themselves. I mean,
That's
yeah,
great.
Duke, I mean, they've done a few things through the years.
Did you have to put that up?
Not a bad program.
Having a good day.
You see Pitt in there as well.
So
St.
much for
John's.
optimism, right, Coach? Just
Hey, you're going to find out. I mean, we had this
great.
conversation, I don't know, maybe 7, 8, 9 hours ago with Chris Collins. That was a while ago anyway. I can't remember what it was that he was up here where he said same thing. They're challenging themselves this year. They're going to find out. Pat Chambers, head coach of the Nittany Lions, is here. And, Coach, man, there has been so much talk about this talent that you're bringing in. I feel like you and I have probably had 5 conversations alone about
Easily.
it. And now you're finally coaching these guys. So what's it like to go from talking about it to coaching some of the young talent?
You really need to have patience. It took us a while to get to this point.
Yes.
I know we've done this a few times, talking about the influx of talent, the Roman Catholic kids, you know, Josh Reeves' year. They're finally here, and they're finally in practice. They're finally in classes. So it's so great to get our hands on them and our arms around them and coach them up. And we're going to definitely play a different style of play that Penn Staters have never seen.
Right.
That's what I had mentioned off the air. The Crispin brothers would love to play this style of play. We're going to get up and down the floor. We're going to shoot threes. We're going to try to get 80 points. It's going to be a lot of fun because that's the type of depth and that's the type of roster we have. Last year's roster was more of a grinded out, you know, possession game. Brandon Taylor was our guy. We fed him the rock, and he came through for us. Third team All Big Ten, which was huge. Get the 7 wins, and you get to buy in the tournament. That was a step in the right direction. Now we have athleticism. We have speed. We have skill. You just had Shep and Peyton up here, our best 3-point shooters. So a lot of the pieces to this puzzle are starting to slowly come together.
So here's what's interesting. Not only are you overhauling the roster, but you're playing in a different way. So how steep is the learning curve, not just with the new guys, but with the guys who have already been in the program?
Yeah, it's pretty steep because we started this in the summer. So we used those hours very wisely at slowly implementing what we wanted to do. And we had to learn it ourselves because we haven't played this way in a long time, if at all. So we went out, we sat with NBA guys, we sat with other college coaches that are not in our league, and we just tried to pick up some drills on how to build it. And we started doing that in July and went into the preseason here, and now we're getting there. But there's gonna be some great days. It's gonna look great, and then there's gonna be some balls that might hit you right in the head. So, John, you better be careful. You better be careful. You better have your hands up. But that's what's gonna happen with youth. But there's so much excitement around it, and they're loving this style of play.
I want to go back to May, June. I'm up for the Coaches versus Cancer golf tournament, and you were talking about how excited you were to get these guys on campus. But in a way, it's the dog chasing the car. What do you do when you get it? What were your biggest challenges once you finally got them on campus?
Well, they're young, right? The inconsistencies, the structure that we have there, time management, accountability, responsibility, all those great buzzwords that we like to use as coaches, but it became real. Now, hey, you got to go to class. Hey, we're up at 5:30. You got to be lifting at 6. Hey, you have to eat your breakfast. Hey, you got a tutor now. There's no time for a nap. Little things like that to get them acclimated and adjusted to what the Big Ten is all about. And that's why we put that non-conference together. That's why we constructed that tough out-of-conference schedule, because we want to test these guys early and often to get them Big Ten ready.
Now, we overuse the word culture, but we undervalue it all the time. It's something that we just throw out there like a cliche, but how important is the culture that you've developed when you do get guys like this onto campus? They understand that they're not walking into their program, they're walking into something else, and they need to assimilate to that. How important is it that you have guys like Peyton Banks, Shep Garner, who are dialed in, bought into everything that you've put on them?
Well, that was critical, and that started with Timmy Frazier, and it led to DJ Newbill, which led to Brandon Taylor in that senior class, and now Shep and Peyton and Julian and Josh Reeves and Terrence have taken that torch to pass it down to these younger guys and say, no. Nobody's bigger than this program. This is what the culture, this is who we are now. We're all about attitude. We're all about our pillars of excellence. This is the way we do things in practice. This is how we conduct ourselves in the community. This is what we're doing socially on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. We're making the right choices and decisions because we represent Penn State basketball, and it is an absolute privilege to be a part of this.
Gosh, I don't know if I have any eligibility left, but I don't know if I can take any charges for you.
Can you shoot? You can still shoot, right? I
still
knew
got
that.
You
That's
don't
why
lose that.
I just need that.
I can shoot and talk. That's about it. That's all I got left.
We've talked about the influx of talent. I think part of what makes it really interesting is that it's not like you have guys who are unfamiliar with one another. And with Tony Carr and Lamar Stevens, I think that's particularly interesting. They're teammates from high school. So how much is the fact that they know one another, that they played with Shep before? One of the guys is already there. How much does that help accelerate that learning curve?
Yeah, I think it's going to help the process. You know, because of that comfort level, because the familiarity of those guys have played together. Shep was a senior when they were sophomores. They played in the Catholic League Championship at the Palestra. So they know each other very well. And then to come up to here, so the bridge has been laid for those guys to be, okay, this is what we do. We know how to do it. We know you guys. We know your role. We know what your strengths are. That's terrific. But we can't have cliques. And that's the one thing we've been fighting against. You know, no cliques. We got a rookie transition program. We got older guys with the younger guys to make sure that they're all hanging out together and the freshmen aren't on an island by themselves. We need that connectivity. We had it last year. We need it this year.
Now, how important is that trust that you almost have right off the bat because of what Shep Garner's gone through and been here? He's bought in. He's your leader. These guys come in. They trust what you're telling them because of Shep. I mean, how key is that in the recruiting process, having guys that can speak on your behalf and say, guys, you want to be a part of this?
And players are the best recruits. Yeah. They're the best recruiters. I'm sorry. I mean, Shep, they've seen Shep when he was a senior. Till now, they said, Coach, he has developed into one of the best shooters, best players in the Big Ten, maybe in the country. And hopefully we see that this year. Yeah. We saw it the last 8 games. So they're seeing that. They're going, wow, let's listen to Coach. Let's buy into this a lot sooner. And then, you know what, let's throw a plug to Tim Frazier. They look at Tim Frazier and go, hey, there's a guy who was a 3-star, nobody thought much of, went to the D-League, goes Rookie of the Year, MVP of the D-League, and then signs a contract. He's making $4 million. Yeah. It's a great story. It's a great story to tell these younger guys to believe in what we're doing.
And also a heck of a guy, too.
Yeah,
he's impressive
class guy.
On so many different levels. You couldn't be happier to see what happened with Tim Frazier. You lose a lot on your front line. Give us a sense of what that front line is going to look like this year.
Julian Moore's played quality minutes, and he started at least 8 or 9 games last year, so he's got experience on the front line. Mike Watkins has a little bit of inexperience, but his talent level is on another stratosphere, so that will help him. We just got to keep him out of foul trouble. I think Lamar is going to be that hybrid Draymond Green for Golden State. He's going to play the 3, he's going to play the 4, he's going to play the 5. So we're going to move him all over the place. He's going to be that Swiss Army knife for us, and he's going to be a do-it-all guy.
How about the conditioning, though, of some of these big guys having to play a little bit faster? Has that been a challenge at all this summer?
No, because these guys are incredible athletes. They are absolute thoroughbreds. I mean, Mike Watkins and Josh Reeves go toe-to-toe in a foot race. Julian Moore's not further behind. So we're talking about our 5 men getting up and down the floor, rim to rim, just as fast as Josh Reeves. That's pretty amazing.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this team this year. I mean, you want to talk about a team that's undergone a complete transformation here in the last couple of years. I know you're excited to see what you've got, and we are fired up to watch it as well. Always fun to catch up. Pat Chambers,
guys, thanks for having me.
Head coach of the Nittany Lions.